welcome back to my channel, Sassy Latte. I'm so excited to be back doing something a little bit different. I just feel like all my videos are different. I don't know why I keep announcing that each video is going to be different, because we know that now, right? It's happened enough times that I don't have to make the announcement. Today, I want to be talking about my top five things that I pretty much renew or get almost every month. I think a lot of people think that I buy makeup all the time, but the truth of the matter is I don't. I only replace 5 things for the most part regularly. So I want to share with those 5 things that I regularly replace with my makeup. And again, I think it's really interesting because I use the same makeup palettes almost every day. I will go months probably using the same 2 or 3 makeup palettes before I make a big switch. And the way that I do like my combos and blending and makeup placement, like the shadow placement on my eyelid, you guys be thinking it's always a different palette. It's literally like the same 3, and I'll do that for like months on end, and then I'll switch to like another 3 palettes and I'll just wear those months on end. So that's like the beauty of like really getting the moils out of your makeup palettes and putting your money, at least for me, my income is finite, okay? I'm not out here like wiping my booty hole with dollar bills, okay? My money is better spent on like skincare and like foundation and things like that. I'm right now going through a process of like trying different kinds of skincare and trying to figure out like what I want to use for like the anti-aging process and stuff. I don't have time to spend money on so much makeup. So if you want to know the top 5 things that I do spend my money on when it comes to my makeup and beauty routine, keep watching. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss anything. So it all starts off with having really good moisturizer. So for me, before I start my makeup routine, I always make sure that my face is moisturized. Right now, my favorite moisturizer that I've used in a really long time actually is this Kiehls Ultra Facial Cream. So Ultra Facial Cream sounds like it's really rich, really thick and dense. It's actually a lightweight 24-hour moisturizer. I love it. I have incredibly sensitive skin. I also have like this weird combination oily but also super dry in the winter skin. My skin does a lot, okay? So I'm very serious about any kind of skincare products that I use because it has to work with complicated skin, which I have. But I like this specifically under my makeup. I am always trying to find the best like routine plan or idea on how to like get the maximum impact of my makeup, but also maximum longevity of my makeup. What I found is when I use facial oils, my skin is more hydrated and the makeup looks like more luminous. It's very glowy and dewy, which I like, but also my makeup slides off because I naturally produce a lot of oil. And then I've also tried like to be really matte on days where I need my makeup to be like long wear, and so I won't use a moisturizer under it, thinking that if the makeup sticks directly all to my face, it'll last longer. What ends up happening is my skin says, oh, we're not gonna be oily today, sis. No, we're gonna crack. We're gonna be ghoulish and haggard by the end of the day. So what works best for me is a lightweight moisturizer, and just throwing that on underneath my skin works the absolute best. Obviously, I top it with a primer and then do my whole shtick, which you guys will see in a second because that's also part of my top 5. But I have to have a moisturizer pretty much no matter what, and a lightweight one works well pretty much no matter the season underneath my makeup. Now, nighttime is different. I can do whatever I want when I'm not wearing makeup, but if I am going to wear makeup, I need a lightweight moisturizer. So this one, this Kiehls Ultra Facial Cream is $55. I buy the big one. They have like a smaller one for $30-something, I think. I just buy the bigger one because I put some on when I wake up in the morning. I don't wash my face in the morning. I just splash some water on. I put some on in the morning. I reapply right before I do my makeup to make sure that my makeup isn't gonna crack. And then when I wash it all off, I put it on again at night. So I use this a lot. So this is definitely something that I have to buy pretty much monthly. Maybe if I'm really not doing makeup that much, like if I bulked all of my content into like a few days of shooting instead of spreading it out. And maybe if I'm slacking on my hygiene, let's be real, okay? Sometimes we get depressed and we don't wash our face like we should. Just being radically honest with you guys. So in those days, when those episodes kick in, when I have those moments, then I get a little bit more use out of the thing and I'll stretch it to like 6 weeks. But if I'm really on my game and I don't have any like episodes of depression and I am doing makeup like more frequently, or if I have more like events or heading out with friends more often, this will go by in a month. And it is 55 bucks. I get it at Sephora. I really love all of the Kiehls products. So when I do a skincare video, I'll definitely feature more of my faves from the company. Okay, so next up in my like holy grail, this is what I get every month. This is the stuff that I buy over and over and over. Cannot live without, can't do my makeup without. Okay, we don't even do it. We don't even bother. Is this Hourglass Veil Primer. All right, so the Hourglass Veil Primer, I buy the big one. They have a tube that's even bigger than this, but this is the larger one. This is $54. This actually lasts me easily 2 months. I don't ever have to buy this monthly. I almost lied to you guys. I do have to buy it monthly in the summer, but that's because it is so mattifying. Like, it's so good that I do glob it on in the summer because it kind of just soaks up all that extra oil and moisture and all of that. So in the summer I buy more of it, but like in the winter time where my face is already matte, plus it's cold outside, just blowing all the moisture that my skin could possibly produce, I don't have to use as much of it. I think that if you're the type of person that doesn't wear makeup nonstop, or if you are not like me, like sometimes I have to do my makeup 2 or 3 times in one day, like wash my face and start over, this is gonna last you forever because you really only need a pea-sized amount for your whole face and down your neck. Like I said, I tend to glob it on if I know that I need super long wear, or if it's really hot outside and my skin is getting like really, really oily, I'll glob it on. Everybody wants to know what kind of primer I use, like how I prime my face to get my makeup looking the way that it does. I can't do what I do without the Veil Primer. It's my absolute favorite, and it's from Hourglass Cosmetics. Again, they have a smaller one, like a much smaller one. I used to buy those all the time, and then I realized that I was just having to replace it so often that I didn't see that as being like the best use of my money or my time. The smaller one is, I think, like $20-something. This is the mid-size, and again, it'll last me easily 6 weeks, couple months, except for in the summer where I'm using like twice the amount that I normally would, and then I have to buy it monthly, and this one is $54. All right, we're being radically honest, and I'm just gonna like tell you guys, I'm gonna, this is probably gonna be one of the more controversial products that I share with you guys. I'm definitely not trying to like give this company any like specific PR because I don't particularly agree with the politics of Kat Von D as a person. That's nothing personal. I'm sure she's a wonderful human being, but like our politics are not in alignment with one another, which is why I very rarely even tell people what I'm wearing. I never tag it if I am wearing KVD products, just because politics matter, especially to somebody who's multiply marginalized like me. And I think like when your politics are in a position where I personally could be harmed by that mentality, it just doesn't make sense for me to like promote that. So radical honesty, people want to know what I use. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I don't mind to tell you. I do use the Kat Von D concealer, the Lock-It concealer. I use this. I have tried a lot of concealers, you guys. I've tried drugstore. I've tried high-end. I've tried some luxury, okay? A bitch has spent money on concealer. I feel like this concealer, it's $27, I think. This concealer is the best bang for my buck. I've tried another concealer that I really, really like as well. And so the problem with that is I am balling on a budget. This is like literally, we are into thing number 3 and I've already spent well over $100, okay? So this is a monthly expense for me to be able to do what I do and put out the content that I do for you guys. I have to be like strategic about my money. The other concealer, I really, 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 really love it. I love the formula. They have a really good color that works for me. I love everything about it, but they put less product in their tubes, and so it ends up costing like 1.5 to 2 times as much. That again, when you're already spending like what I feel like is an astronomical amount of money, okay? Some people's makeup budgets is really high. What I feel like is already a lot of money. It's really hard for me to just be like, let me go ahead and get a brand that is in alignment with, what I feel is appropriate and let me go ahead and just shell out twice the cash. If I had it, I would do that in a heartbeat. Unfortunately, that's just not my lifestyle at the moment. This is my budget at the moment. And you know, it is what it is. You gotta keep it funky, gotta do what you gotta do, gotta keep hustling, gotta keep your job going. A lot of people work for people whose political views do not align with their own. A lot of people work for companies, a lot of people buy products. You do what you gotta do. So there's no judgment here. I just try not to promote companies or products whose opinions and politics are not in alignment with my own. That's just my personal thing. But like I said, radical honesty, people wanna know what I use. So I'm telling you guys, I use the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. What I do is after I moisturize and after I prime my face, I have like a lot of acne, discoloration. I have melasma. I've got a lot of things going on. My skin, my forehead is like two-toned because 4 years ago, I got probably the worst sunburn of my life. I didn't even know what it was. I've successfully made it into adulthood without sunburn. And it like literally scorched my forehead. I had blisters, I had a huge rash, and my forehead's just been scarred ever since then. It was like literally just a strip across my forehead. I basically use my concealer to conceal my under eyes, all of the spots. I just dot, dot, dot. It's got like this little applicator tip so I can just put it very specifically where I need it. I let it get to the point where it's almost dry and then I just kind of like dab it out. And this is so thick, it's such full coverage that when I put my foundation on top of it, you don't see nothing. You don't see nothing of that under here, all of the scarring, the discoloration, everything. Like, there's no Facetune here. This is a video, okay? So, like, it's, you know, just so you know, like, it works really well for me, somebody who has, like, a lot of skin discolorations. This really evens me out before I put on my foundation. It's super essential, and it's within my price range, so that's why I stick with it. Do whatever concealer works for you. Like, for me, I feel like there's like the things that I'm showing you guys today. If you want a flawless look, you want that canvas to be prepped, primed, and flawless and ready to execute a masterpiece, you have to find these products. You have to find a good moisturizer, you gotta find a good concealer, and you have to find a good primer. Because beyond this point, like, you're just wasting your time if you don't like really hyper focus on a good moisturizer, a good concealer, and a good primer. If you don't have those three things, you're gonna look a hot mess. No matter what you do, you're gonna look a hot mess and your makeup probably isn't gonna stay on. So, you know, but do you, boo. Always do you. Don't listen to me, do you. So next up is this Becca Ultimate Coverage 24-hour foundation. This is my foundation that I have been using now for like 3 or 4 years. I love it because they have a full range. They actually just added like 12 more shades, most of which are in the like darker, deeper skin tones. I was gonna say black people, but there are a lot of people who are not black that have skin my color or darker. Woo, I'm so excited about that. I just saw it because I was looking for my shade and I was just like, what is all of this? They added more and they already had a pretty great range. My sister is actually a few shades darker than I am and she could never find a foundation shade that was dark enough but also true enough of a match for her. Becca had what she needed, okay? So right now I'm in the shade Espresso. My skin is a little weird, okay? In the summer, I have very dark skin. I wear the shade Mahogany, which is like, I think 2 away from being the darkest shade. Maybe that's different now because Becca just added several more darker shades. I usually go with Mahogany in the summer. Usually we don't get a lot of sunshine, October through like February. We don't get a whole bunch of sunshine and I'm not outside because it's cold. So my skin lightens way up and I'm usually in the shade Sienna, which is much lighter than what I'm wearing now. You can see that my skin, you know, we're just gonna, I mean, well, it's truth time, right? We're being honest. So you can kind of see where my skin is much lighter. We're just gonna, right? There. Who knew, right? Who knew? When I put my makeup on, I just take it down as low as it needs to go until it blends and fades seamlessly. 2 things about this. Number 1, we were still experiencing 100+ degree days well into October, lots of sunshine. My kid is in school now and after school she stays outside and plays almost every day. So the amount of sun that I was getting this year in comparison to others, totally different, 100% different. Also, this year I caught whatever epidemic was going around, okay, with the nationwide acne outbreak, okay? I had that shit going on myself. I have horrific scarring all across both of my cheeks and under my chin. Concealer does cover it, yes. But I need extra security. So what I like to do when I have really bad scarring on my face is I always go one shade darker with my foundation. So yes, I could probably get away with sienna, but you're still gonna see like some of the scarring show through, especially if my makeup rubs off. With going just one shade darker, it matches the scarring a little bit better, and it kind of like prohibits any slips and whoopsies from happening. So yeah, I could probably go a little bit lighter, but I almost never do, just because if anything is going on with my skin and there's really bad scarring, the scarring at some point is going to show up. At some point. I don't know why or how, but it always does. So this is just kind of like a safety net. But usually in the winter, I am like literally 3 to 4 shades lighter than I am in the summer. Except for this year, I did get a lot of sun. So I'm actually closer to espresso and matching than I am to the sienna. But I could probably, I mean, we're being real. Cause a bitch didn't blend this at all. It's kind of embarrassing, but you know, we're family, right? This is $44 for the foundation, but unless I'm doing my makeup like a lot, and again, sometimes on some days I do have to do my makeup like a full reapplication, just depending on how intense the makeup looks that I'm doing for the day are, and I will have to apply my foundation like twice a day. And if I'm going out in the evening, like for a meeting or a family or an event or something like that, then it'll be a third application. So I go through product a lot faster than the average person does. A pea-sized amount of this will get your face to and together, especially if you don't have really bad scarring. It is full coverage, it's creamy, it's delicious. It makes your skin looks really lush and luminous. All of those things are beautiful and I love, but unfortunately in the summer, thanks to global warming, it's hot. What? It's hot. I have never in my entire life been as hot as I was this past summer. Wow. Wow, it's too hot for titties. And I just could like feel my makeup sitting on top of my skin because my skin was so sweaty and oily, and I don't even sweat, okay? I don't even know what was happening, but I just couldn't do it. So I switched to a lightweight foundation, which bizarrely enough actually is also still full coverage. So you can go either or. Sometimes I mix the two, but because it's wintertime right now, this is the one that I live for. I would recommend this highly to anybody who just wants like an airbrush, like flawless foundation look. This is where she's at. And my last thing on the list, the last thing that I have going up is this Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Balm. I am on my, so this is my third full size jar. This is only like $35. It goes a long way and it'll last you a month. Unless you're like me and you do your makeup a lot, you might have to use like 1.5, but I don't always like use this to take off my makeup. So if you follow me on Instagram on my @sassy_latte, you probably watched me try other facial cleansing balms and they broke me out, or they got in my eyes, or I immediately started having an allergic reaction like while applying it, like I couldn't breathe or I was sneezing, things like that. I have had the most severe allergic reactions start with like intense repetitive sneezing, and then it grows into a respiratory infection. Like, so for me, sneezing is like a sign that something's not right with the product that I'm using. Those products don't matter. I just knew that I wanted to try something different. I'm getting older, you know, I'll be 37 during Aries season here, coming up in like the next 6 weeks or so. And the truth of the matter is I want to start taking better care of my skin. I don't want to constantly use makeup wipes where I'm just tugging and scrubbing at my skin. I want to use something that's more gentle and a little bit like more comforting to my skin instead of abrasive and harmful to it. And so I've been really looking into cleansing balms so that I can give myself like a facial massage and it takes off the makeup all at the same time. This Clinique is like, I don't know. I feel like whenever I can't find what I'm looking for in anything else in terms of like skincare and makeup, I can always rely on Clinique. Funny story, Clinique is actually the very first makeup brand that I've ever tried outside of like drugstore, like mistakes, experiments. Clinique is probably the very first makeup brand that I tried with like intent. It's definitely my first high-end makeup that I've ever purchased. And so even though I've tried a lot more things now, it's just one of those brands, like at least for me, where I know that like if everything else is falling apart, I can always rely on Clinique to have something that's going to be gentle for my skin. It's going to be good coverage, like whatever it is that I'm looking for, I know Clinique has it. Maybe I like products from other brands better, but if they're not available, I know that Clinique is like, at the end of the day, a ride or die. This cleansing balm is life. It's at a great price point. This is huge for $35. You only need a pea-sized amount and you just rub it until you don't have any makeup anymore. It's a great way to make sure that you got all of the makeup off of your skin as well. You don't have to like use it as a makeup remover. You can just use it on your skin to cleanse your skin with as well. That's also an option. But what I like to do is I use a makeup wipe to take off some of like the more intense, you know, darker stuff and get that one layer off so that I don't have to go through this too often. I get most of it off and then I switch over to the cleansing balm and I'll use like a quarter-sized amount because I am wearing a lot of makeup, and I'll just like massage my skin and my face and my neck and everything for like literally 5 minutes. That's a long time to rub your face, okay? Your face is not that large, but it's just, it feels so good and soothing for me. So that's how I get all of my makeup off at night. I also just saw such an improvement in my skin when I started using this. Just, you know, like I felt like my skin always feels like irritated when I take off a whole bunch of makeup, or especially if I've been wearing it all day. And when I've been taking off my makeup using this cleansing balm, what I've noticed is that like my skin shows fewer signs of irritability. And I like that a lot. I love that because it makes it easier for me to wake up and abuse my skin again the next day with a full face of makeup multiple times or whatever it is that I've got to do. Those are my top 5 things that I replace every month to 6 weeks. These are like my holy grail items. I could have like minimal amount of money to my name and I need to choose clothes or to replace these things. I would replace these things and just rewear an outfit or whatever. I mean, I rewear outfits anyway, but you feel me? Like, these are the things that I need to do what I do. And these are, you know, overall products that I would recommend to anybody, especially if you have sensitive skin, acne prone skin, especially if you want to wear makeup that's gonna last all day. These are the products that are gonna get you where you need to be. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video, that chat, the truth time. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see me do my foundation routine using all of these products, or a get unready with me using skincare products and taking my makeup off, leave a comment below and let me know so that I can film that for you guys as well. Until then, we will see each other again at my next top 5 video or sooner. I hope you guys are having the best day that you can. Bye!